Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is Monday, June 20th, and I'm on version 3 of this recording. So we're just going to power through it, mistakes and all. We are just a few weeks out from Big Brother 24. Don't have any news right now, but thought I would jump on and say hello again. I will be doing this. I'll do this several times this week, hopefully, just to kind of catch those of you up that are either new to Big Brother or just want to hear discussions about Big Brother, but there's really no news right now. I mean, I think it's going to be an all-new cast. I haven't heard anything about any new house designs or anything, or, new changes to the house, unlike the staircase getting changed last year. I'm assuming the staircase is still changed. I don't think they're going to go back to a circular staircase. So I would expect the new staircase is staying in place. Sharon from Us Weekly, she tweeted out something today that I retweeted that was talking about, she doesn't expect to hear anything at least for 10 more days minimum. She expects it to be pretty quiet. So unless somebody gets some, leaks or something, wouldn't expect to hear anything for at least 10 more days. And I don't have any more information. Last information I had was when I leaked the premiere date, which was then repeated by other people. Or if you believe somebody else, they said it was the logical date, first of all. I'm not claiming to be some kind of a guru, but I was told by one of my sources the date, and that was the confirmed date. But in the end, that was pretty much the logical date anyways. The first Wednesday after the 4th of July would have matched up with last year, which is what it did. So, what can we talk about? Not a whole lot. First of all, this is my CarCast. I do this pretty much. I did this 6 or 7 days a week last year and the year before during Big Brother. So you can expect that to happen again. I will be doing it almost every morning on my drive into work, sometime on the weekends. I'll do it a couple of different times probably. So if you want Big Brother news, summaries of what has gone on, the important highlights with some amount of spoiling, you'll get the spoiling no matter what. No matter where you go for your Big Brother information, you will get spoiled. But this is the place to listen. Now, how did you get here? Let's talk about that, because I had someone that is tweeting me in a direct message and asking how to listen to my CarCast, which is what this is. And it's like, well, it's in your Twitter timeline. When I post this, it will show up in the Twitter timeline. But if you want to actually subscribe to it, the question will be, how do you listen to podcasts? Because there's lots of different ways. But however you listen to podcasts, you should be able to find this that way. If you look for Mike's Big Brother Gossip CarCast, you should be able to find it. But if you're unsure or you can't figure it out, then by all means, send me a message. Say, hey, Mike, I listen to iTunes. Can you point me to a link in iTunes that would show me how to subscribe? Yeah, I can. I will find the iTunes link and send it to you. Same goes for Stitcher. Same goes for Spotify. Same goes for TuneIn. Same goes for whatever podcasting app you use, because I have my podcasting program that I use is pushing it out to all of them. Oh, that's good. Hang on a second. All right, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. You may or may not have, but that was my Waze telling me that there was a car on the shoulder ahead. I forgot to mute my Waze. So yes, I am driving home from work. But back to what we were talking about. If you need a way to listen to my almost daily podcast about Big Brother, where I talk to myself about what the heck is going on, just let me know. I will help you. I will get you set up. But for most people, if you follow me on Twitter, it shows up in your timeline whenever I do it. Of course, some people subscribe to or follow 100,000 people, and so they don't see it in their timeline because it goes by so quick. I realize I'm unique, or one of those people, because I only follow 99 people, and of those 99, only about probably 60 are tweeting somewhat regularly, if not less. So my timeline on my Twitter is very quiet most of the year. The other thing that I can talk about very briefly is I tweeted out a link to an article in Entertainment Weekly that was out today, where the author interviewed Eddie from Big Brother 1, and he talked about the show. Now, I'm not going to recap everything he talked about, because you know what? You can go read it yourself, and you probably should. It was an interesting article. The highlights I took from it, he's never watched Big Brother, even his own season or other seasons. He thinks they need to make it more, give more money, which is a duh thing. Of course they do. But I mean, it'll be probably $750,000 again this year, which is more than it had been for the first 23 seasons or whatever. You know, it's like, finally you're giving a little bit more money, but come on, just make it a nice even million. Why $750,000? It just sounds like, honest to goodness to me, it's like, okay, we'd accepted $500,000 that's what it was going to be. You know, it's kind of like, we'll give you half of what you get on Survivor for staying in a house 3 times as long as an episode, as a season of Survivor, but you're not on an island. But then it's like, we're going to bump it up, but we're only going to go to $750,000. Now, come on. You and I both know that Julie, that Allison are making millions of dollars doing this show. Millions of dollars. I have no doubt in my mind that Allison Grodner, sorry for the road noise, that Allison Grodner makes multi-millions of dollars producing Big Brother. And I have no doubt that Julie Chen is taking home multi-million dollars hosting Big Brother. So goodness gracious, why can't the winner at least win $1 million? Come on. Really? So, nothing I haven't said before, but that's what I had to say on that. So that was one of the things that Eddie said. They should get more money. He's never watched an episode. And apparently he said the first woman he ever fell in love with was Brittany. Now, this is Brittany Petros, by the way. This is the original Brittany from Big Brother 1. She had purple hair. Maybe she colored her hair different colors. I think she colored her hair different colors several times. She was the young, spunky, cute girl who now does she's still in the entertainment industry out there. I think she helps with castings and stuff like that and running shows. So, but that was who his first. But he made it sound like it was more of a loved her like a sister kind of a thing. It wasn't a romantic love, but he said he definitely felt some just genuine love for her. So it's kind of cool. Other than that, I'll leave it to you to go read them. Read it. It's an interesting little read. I would say he said that Big Brother 1 was terrible. And come on. Those of you that know me have heard this before, and I've already tweeted out my thoughts on that. But Big Brother 1 was not terrible. Now, it was a terrible show. It was a boring show to watch 6 nights a week or 5 nights a week or whatever the heck it was at this point. I can't remember. It wasn't necessarily put together the best, but they were doing it on a shoestring. It was their first time doing a show like that. But, the live feeds were just amazing. It was just amazing to see people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in a house. And we got to see more of the house guests in Big Brother 1 than we ever did after that. They could sing. There was no censoring of the singing. And, of course, that probably cost them a pretty penny. But they very, very seldom shut off the live feeds. The live feeds were on all the time. It was amazing, the access that we got to the house guests. So, whereas Eddie says it was a terrible show, it wasn't, and I'm sorry. Now, the format of the public voting out house guests after they nominated each other, the problem with that is that it was, and I've explained this before, so those of you that have heard it, sorry, but let's do it for the newer folks. The problem with voting out, choosing to vote to evict someone, is that even if you have 3 people nominated, the person that is going to get the most votes is to get evicted is going to be the most polarizing person, the person that just drives the most people insane or that they dislike the most. They are going to garner the most votes. What the international version of Big Brother came up with after a few seasons was, and granted, the international version, they didn't have this problem, but this is what happened in the U.S. But what they came up with in the rest of the world was, let's make it a vote to save. So you have to vote to save a person. And what that meant was, the person that was least entertaining, that was most boring, that people cared about the least of whoever was nominated, is the one who would get voted out because they wouldn't get enough votes. So a very polarizing person, even if they're very polarizing, they still have people that are their fans. Still have people that would vote for them. And that's what happens, is that the polarizing people stayed around because they would have people that would just vote for them because they were strong characters, strong personalities, and they weren't boring. The boring people just couldn't get the votes. People didn't bother to vote for the boring people to save them. Why would you say save the boring person? So that's how they changed the format, and I would love to see how the U.S. version might have continued on if they hadn't switched after the first year, if they had changed the voting format. But alas, we never got to see that, and we are where we are today, and we have Survivor in a house. So it is what it is. That's what's up, guys. I just really wanted to touch bases with you. I'm going to try to do this at least a couple more times this week, at least once more for sure, but maybe a couple more. As far as supporting, listen to the commercials at the end. I get a little tiny bit of kickback for that. If you want to become an actual patron, I will be giving my patrons a shout out this week. There, I just decided it. I will give my patrons a shout out one of the days this week. So everybody who is a patron, I will give you a shout out by name at some point this week to thank you for being a patron. If you would like to be a patron, you can sign up. You can go to Patreon, patreon.com, and then /BBGOSSIP, or just search for BB Gossip under Patreon. Now, do not sign up for the Big Brother Gossip Show. Do not sign up for Patreon Big Brother Gossip. You just need to sign up for BB Gossip. The Big Brother Gossip Show Patreon account is inactive. We are not doing a Big Brother Gossip Show in the way we used to. I am doing my CarCast. Scott and Colette are still doing their talking about Big Brother during their day drinking podcast show. And if you don't know how to do that, you can search for day drinking on Twitter or at Patreon, and you can find them that way. But that's what they're doing. So that's what's up, my friends. Thank you for listening. I will talk to you all very soon again, I'm sure. But I hope you're all well. And yeah, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm home. So I'm signing off. Bye-bye.